Look at that. First sight of keys. And you guys are going to move it around so it's straight.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, you can play it. It's
I got this email from Darren Keene, who works with Lincoln Calling, and he thought that a great way to kind of honor Serra's, and Glass's relationship, because Richard Serra just passed away, at the end of March, and he thought that we've got this glorious Serra sculpture of Greenpoint, and what his crazy idea was to put a grand piano in the middle inside the sculpture, and that I would play a half-hour program of Philip Glass. I met Philip Glass right here in Lincoln, Nebraska during my job interview in March of 1995. And that started a trajectory of, we've had 2 world premiere performances of major works that Glass wrote. It's such an interesting project because nobody knows what a piano is going to sound like in that unbelievably unique space. What I also love about the work that I've done with Glass is that his music transcends so many cultural borders, and people that would never go to a classical music concert will come hear me play Philip Glass, and it gets them interested in the piano and all kinds of things.
So what you are going to hear today is a world premiere performance of a new edition of Monsters of Grace.
I wanted to pick pieces that had a relatively slow, meditative harmonic rhythm, which happens a lot in Glass. So anyway, this is what the whole recital will begin with. And I think it sounds a little bit like a prelude or an introit. This is my transcription of Monsters of Grace. And then the second piece, this is such a meaningful piece for me, because when I met Philip Glass flying out of Lincoln, Nebraska, as part of my job interview, this is the piece of music that he gave me. And he said, Paul, why don't you, I told him I was playing in New York the following year, and he said, why don't you play this piece? My music director transcribed it, Michael Riesman. And I said, oh, this is great. So this is really what began the whole creative process. It's Satyagraha, it's from the conclusion act 3. So I'm going to play this as the third piece, Orpheus and the Princess, and it features what I've affectionately called the love progression. So when you hear this, it's the B flat, and then D flat is what makes you fall in love to whoever you happen to be looking at. When Philip Glass published his etudes several years ago, they just took the piano world by storm, and so there have been so many complete recordings, and I picked one, number 16, which is on my New Generations recording that came out, I think, back in 2015. And again, it's got a very slow harmonic rhythm. It's so unbelievably expressive. The final piece that I'm going to do, I decided to pull out all the stops This is probably the most difficult transcription that I've ever done. It takes tremendous amounts of energy, fingers, and things like that. This is Dance for Mach Knock.